Good morning on this Monday morning. Everything that is seen has been created from the unseen. Think about that for a moment. Let me say it again. Everything that is seen has been created from the unseen. What does that mean to you? So the law today that I'm talking about, I said I do a law every day until our masterclass, click up there, starts on Monday, 7 p.m. UK time. So the clocks will have changed. So if you're in a different time zone, please be aware of the time change. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Wow. It's a bit of a mouthful. What does that mean? Everything is always moving into form and out of form. Just think of the seasons we have, especially in the UK. So the trees grow with leaves fully blooming, everything, and then they go away. Like the daffodils. Isn't it amazing how you plant daffodils and then they just keep coming back and they die and they come back and they die and they come back? Wow. Everything that is seen has been created from the unseen. This mobile phone, yeah? First of all, in somebody's imagination, wasn't it? And then it became something. It wasn't here until somebody thought about it. Imagine when the person thought about it all those years ago. We're going to talk to people. I mean, imagine 100 years ago telling people what we're doing today. Like, even whenever I was, I'm showing my age here, okay, when the first mobile phone came out, and it was this big chunky block thing. And if you'd have seen people walking around with a mobile phone, you'd think, what an idiot. What are they like? But even whenever I was 16, and we were doing our computer science O-level, and they said one day these computers are going to talk to each other. And I was like, wow. Imagine 100 years ago saying, well, I'm going to talk to somebody on the other side of the world. I could sit on my couch and I could talk like this to everybody. Wow. So it was first in somebody's imagination. So all these laws are going to move into one. So because when we talk about the law of cause and effect, which would be the next law, which is really the one you want to be paying attention to, is that you had to think of it first of all for it to happen. So, with the law of attraction, they talk about and just go, oh, I don't believe in the law of attraction. Well, it's working. You don't have to believe in it. You don't have to believe in the law of gravity for it to work. And so it doesn't really matter whether you do or not. It's still happening. If your life, if you keep on being bombarded with things, isn't it so funny how we think of when the good things are happening? Oh yeah, I attracted that. I did that. I did that. And when it's not so good, you go, why is this always happening to me? We are goal-seeking organisms. We are goal-seeking organisms. If you're not thinking and controlling and being aware of what's going on, your body's going off to find something. It's seeking something, and what you're seeking is seeking you. What you are seeking is seeking you. Well, what's going on in your imagination, first of all? What's going on in your imagination? What are you dreaming up? Are you having conversations with people that you don't want and dreading conversations and, oh my goodness, I haven't got this and I haven't got that. Are you doing all that in your head over and over again? So remember, all the laws that I'm going to talk about this week are actually just going to run into each other. But just think of this one today. The perpetual transmutation of energy. So everything is always moving into form and out of form. Everything that is created has been created from the unseen. You cannot create the seen from the seen, you create the seen from the unseen. Do you get it? That's your wonderful imagination. Stop trying to gather more and more knowledge. Start paying attention to your subconscious and live from your subconscious. Your subconscious is your feelings, and it is telling you things. You know, praying is whenever you ask God, talk to God, and your intuition and your subconscious is when God is talking to you. You may not like that word God. You may have some whatever, you know, oh, there she is. You know, it's energy, whatever you want to call it. But whatever you are seeking is seeking you, and you're always seeking something. Let me tell you about a story about whenever, and it's also like, so if you're negative energy now, you can turn it into positive energy. We'll talk about that law after. You can turn energy around. So stop trying to get rid of a negative thought, because that doesn't work. You just make it bigger. You just pay more attention to it. So stop trying to get rid of it. Just focus on what you want. And I know it feels hard, but that's the work. Wallace D. Wattles says it's the hardest work anybody ever does, is this mental work. It's about pulling your imagination over to here to what you want. And so when my first marriage went south, I was so angry because being brought up Catholic, and I was told that you got married and you had children and you would live happily ever after, and not everybody had that thought. So when things didn't work out quite to plan, I was so angry. I mean, even whenever I went to the priest and I told him and I said, this is what our religion tells us, so I'm damned for the rest of my life. And he just went, oh my goodness, what have we taught our children? But that anger, wow. But you know what I did with that anger? Because I couldn't live with that anger. So I don't know if anybody's living with anger right now. It's not serving you. It's not serving you. Your anger isn't serving you. Turn it into something. Take all that energy and put it into something. So what I put it into was a degree in computer science. And at that time, there were no girls doing the computer science side. They were doing the, business information technology, and all the girls went that way, but all the boys went that way. And I went, I want to do what they're doing. I don't want to be girly, because my brother had told me it wasn't good to be girly. So all this took me to do an honours degree in computer science. Wow. I was the only girl standing on that platform. And that's what you see. You can take whatever's happening with you now. There is something good in it. And if you're not feeling uncomfortable, you're not growing. Being uncomfortable and hitting that terror barrier is growth. Growth, growth, growth. You may not like it. It doesn't feel good. But if you're not hitting it, you're not growing, and you're seeking something. So don't think that you're cruising. You can't cruise. You're always seeking something. Some people are consciously competent about this, but most of us, we're going to have to be consciously competent. Be conscious of your thoughts. Be conscious of your feelings, every single one. And if you think that's hard, if you think that's hard work, you just pay attention to what happened to my mum. When my nanny died at 76 from a broken hip, from the age of 70 onwards, my mum was going on saying, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall. Better not fall like your nanny. What happened when she got to 76? You see, I told her, I said, Mummy, why don't you think about holding on to something? This feels strong. I can lean on this, and always look out for something that you can lean on. And she said, oh, Sheena, that's too much effort. Well, was it too much effort to fall and break your hip? She lasted a year. Do you think it's too much effort to have what you want? Do you? Pay attention to every thought and every feeling. It's telling you something. If you feel crap, you're emotionally involved with a wrong thought. That's all. It's not real. So get emotionally involved with something that you do love. It doesn't matter if it's not in a line, if it's not about your goal, just find something that makes you feel good and think that. What do you love? What do you love? What do you love? What are you grateful for? And listen, you're here watching this, so if you can't find anything to be grateful for, just be grateful that you're here, that the universe needed you today. Otherwise, you wouldn't have woke up. You're here for something. You're affecting something. Have a wonderful, blessed day. And what law would you like to have actually today? Sorry, I forgot to say good morning to everybody. I've just realized Mohammed, Francesca, Liz, and Vivian. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What law would you like me to talk about tomorrow? Tell me. Otherwise, I'll just crack on with the law of cause and effect tomorrow and really go into that. But remember, I'm only just going over the surface here because next week we're going to be deep diving. Oh, yes. Have a wonderful day. See ya.